Hey guys, Backslash 4x4 here, and I'm gonna do a troubleshoot video for the Backslash 4x4. For the central drive line, to protect it, I cut out a piece of plastic and just custom modded it, fabricated it, made a hole. I didn't like the electric tape mod because I have heard that it puts a lot of stress on the driveline itself and potentially damages more parts on the driveline. As for the center where your slipper clutches, I've gone ahead and cut out a piece of foam. I'm going to cut it into a L shape basically, so you cover up the spot where it is open. So what you want to do for the slash is think about going to buy a fan for your ESC to cool it down. I picked this up at a local computer store. You could probably pick it up at like the toys, your local hobby shop. And then for the motor heatsink, I've gone ahead and got it from the toys. It's the 3 Racing. To keep the temps more down, I went ahead and got me an MG Chemicals silicone heat transfer compound, and this itself did drop the temps about 5 to 10 degrees. And if you really have issues with the heat, you may want to invest in a lower pinion. I dropped mine to a 10-tooth pinion by Robinson's Racing just because I use 3S. The stock springs on the Slash, they're progressive, which means they're softer on the outsides and stiffer towards the center. But an option you could do is put in thicker shock fluid if you don't want to buy any new springs. But what I've gone ahead and I've bought Racer's Edge T-Max springs. They're awesome. They come in an 8-pack for $2.59, so that's a really good bargain. In my opinion, these do drive a lot better than the stock Slash springs for the buggy. For the Slash, you may just want to put in heavier shock fluid. Alright, so I've heard this problem on forums quite a lot, that the AKA Wheel Adaptors capture nut falls off a lot. So what you want to do when you get them is get thread locker. I have the Permatex medium strength thread locker. None of these screws have loosened up. For the rear of the Backslash, I've gone ahead and bought the Slash 2-wheel drive hinge pins. Basically they're the screw-in ones. So with these you can just tighten them and they're in. For the front, I would do the hinge pin, but I didn't get enough, so I might get that, but I might just stick to what I have right now, which is just having a piece of plastic with drilled holes in it, and to mount it up I use the stock screw to hold it in. Mr. Brinky, another YouTube channel, he used an aluminum plate, I believe, as a front bumper. That works. My best suggestion is cutting up your stock front bumper and modding it to whatever specs you want it to. I just went the lazy method and just basically cut off a lot of the plastic for the front bumper And what I've done is just screwed in and drilled holes where the thicker plastic was, so I wouldn't have to deal with it breaking later on. You may want to protect them, obviously, because no one really likes scratched up aluminum. I personally don't, but there are some options to keep them almost scratch proof. What I did was use Lexan. Another option you can do is use an aluminum plate and just cover it basically. I've been getting a few questions about this and how you do it. It's basically straightforward. So on the front of the chassis, right over here, you can see I have these screws and a washer, plastic washer. That's still holding my front body mount. What I did was cut a piece of aluminum like that. I cut it with the V's in it because that means I can just put it in and out whenever I need to take out the front. And I just drilled a hole for the body mount, so then I can just easily pull it out and in like that. For the rear, this was a little challenging. There are a few options you can do, but it's really up to you. So the first option I had was drilling a hole into the stock gear cover where it was flat back here, drill it a bit, and then put the body mount. But I just didn't like the way it was, because the gear cover does raise up a bit and it allows more rocks to get in. So what I've done was custom fabricate a piece of aluminum. You want to cut it. You want to have it where you have it flat on the top of the shock tower, and then just bend it in, and then that's all you really need to do. For the length and height, it's really up to you. I mean, I kind of have a high sitting body, but I don't really mind. And then for the wing mount, you do have a few options there. You can just use your rear body mount, kind of like the Mr. Brinkle said. It moves up like a 1/4 inch. It's not that bad, but I just went ahead and got me a whole V8 wing set. And the ways to mount the wing mount onto the shock tower are just really getting a few screws, washers, and then just going in between the shock towers gaps, like here. Alright, so thanks for watching.